Hi, Panther fans. So, I hope that you've been enjoying the content that we've been pumping out. Myself and Kyle and Stu and Nick and Raven and Nick and everybody that helped out. Really appreciate it. But I wanted to do this last minute. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. I just kind of wanted to wait. I figured, let's just do it Monday morning. Let's just do it the morning of. Because let's face it, everything else is all nice, right? But this is the room where the magic happens. This is where stream of consciousness, I can just get it out. And usually I'm pretty content with what comes out here. So look, nobody can say we expected this. Nobody can say we didn't expect this. We all know what I predicted before the season started. And yeah, I've been on that cliff a couple of times. I'm sure there was at least once during the recap I got emotional and said the season's over, we're not making the playoffs. Everybody's human. But at this point, as I have said in my previous videos, I would look stupid if I made my bed, right? I made the bed. I predicted before the season started that the Panthers are going to win the Cup. And there ain't no sense in backing off of that prediction right now. There's a lot of different things that if you look historically, let's put it this way. If you look statistically, you go, no, what are you smoking, Jaws? But if you look historically, there's a number of things on this team's side. Number one, the President's Trophy curse is a real thing. Number two, Bennington. Number three, Murray. Number four, I said it was going to happen. So, look, here's what I expect. All right, it's weird because it changed this morning. Now, leading up until today at the River, I have been thinking, I don't feel good about Game 1. I think Game 1's going to go Boston's way. But I feel good about tonight. And it's not specifically or especially or singularly, I got that out, I'm impressed. It's not just because Bergeron might be out. I would be surprised if he's not in, but I can tell you two things. Number one, if he's not in, he's really in bad shape. And number two, Bruins fans, no. If we beat you in 7, you don't get to say, well, if we would have had Bergeron in Game 1, because we don't have Sam Bennett. And Sam Bennett is pretty much just as big of a piece of this team as Bergeron is. So as far as I'm concerned, if Bergeron can't play Game 1, that kind of just makes us even Steven for Sam Bennett being out. Now in terms of Bennett, he's on the trip. He practiced, and they said if he felt good after the flight, he was going to be in the morning skate today. But he's definitely not playing today. But look, on one hand, Maurice has been saying he might play the next game for about a month now, I think. We're closing in on that, for however long it's been. On the other hand, Maurice keeps saying he might play the next game. I don't know specifically what the injury is. They've said groin. If this goes on too long, just somebody book me a flight down there. I'm a massage therapist. I'll fix him up, and then we'll move on from there. But in terms of tonight, I feel good. I feel good. Now, why did I bring up Bennington? Why did I bring up Murray? I've talked about this before. That is twice that a goalie has come out literally out of nowhere, especially in Bennington's position. St. Louis snuck in right at the end. Their story is very similar-esque. They were worse, though. They were like almost last in the league or last in the league, close to it. And then they just busted ass, made it as the 8th seed. Had Bennington, this goalie that nobody knew, there was no book on him. Nobody knew what to do with this guy, and they won a cup. Okay? And then you all know what happened with Murray. I think he had not played a whole lot, let's put it that way. And again, now both of those guys, their careers have kind of tailed off, right? The more that, teams have gotten a book on them, the more that people have known about them, their numbers have gotten worse and worse. But they do have those cups. Now, the reason I say that is because it's looking like we don't have anything official, but the assumption from everybody is that Alex Lyon is the Game 1 starter. And look, you could call me Josh Adamas at all. Ain't nobody saw that one coming, okay? Like I said last night on the stream, if you would have told me this team was going to lose 4 straight, be without Bob, be without Spencer Knight, and only get 1 point in the last 2 games at home and still get in, I would have smacked you upside the head. You would have smacked me upside the head if I would have said that. That was crazy talk. And yet, here we are. Now, the series. Now, I have said what I thought was going to happen in this series, but now I feel good about tonight. I have a feeling this one's going to be a very back and forth. It almost could be an every other game type of thing, but I do believe this is going to go 7 games. Now, I have said, in a light-hearted, prediction of sorts, Carter Verhaeghe Game 7 in triple overtime. Now, if that happens, I don't suppose that I'm going to be alive to see it, because probably sometime halfway through the second overtime, I'm going to have a stroke. They're going to have to come take me in the ambulance, and I'll probably miss the rest of the game if we get that far in. I think we're going to know early on tonight. Okay? I think we're going to know early on tonight, because Boston's going to come out flying. Okay? They just had the best season in regular season history. They're going to be at home, and I don't think they're going to make the mistake of taking the Panthers lightly because of our history and how we played against them this year. And don't forget, one of those Alex Lyon victories was against the Bruins. So, Panthers in 7. I know what you're thinking, and if you're a Bruins fan, I understand what you're thinking. Bottom line is, I'll give you 2 reasons for that. Number 1, I said we were going to win the Cup, and I'm not backing off of that prediction now just because we're playing the big bad Bruins. So that's that part of it. In terms of the hockey, every super team has their weakness. Whatever sport it is, every super team has their weakness. The Miami Heat didn't win the first time with Wade and LeBron. Okay? The Dolphins never won a Super Bowl with Marino. The Lightning, before they went to 3 straight cups, they got obliterated. The Avalanche have had their problems before they finally won a cup. Now, I know it's a little bit different because Boston has guys that have won a cup. So in that sense, they're not new to the dance, and that could be the difference. But every stinking super team has a weakness. Now, it hasn't really been exploited or found so far with the Bruins, but Paul Maurice is an extraordinarily veteran coach. And the theme of this season has been things that happen, and then, like when Zito made the trade, people were like, oh, I don't know about it. And then it turned out great. And then when Maurice was hired and we wanted a veteran coach with playoff experience, people said, I don't know. But it's worked out. As the season has gone on, these things that Zito and Maurice have said, this is what they want to happen, this is what they want to do, they have just continued to happen. So, if Maurice can continue that trend, and if Maurice is a smart enough veteran coach to figure out, you know what, I think I see this weakness. I think we can attack them in this manner, whatever it is. If he can find something, sometimes in a playoff series, this is how the Panthers lost to the Lightning last year, partially, is that one coach makes an adjustment to play a certain way and the other coach just can't answer, or the players are not capable of answering. Okay? The Panthers were just not capable of answering what Tampa did to us last year. Now, nobody's really had a lot of success against the Bruins. However, we've played them 4 times, beat them twice. We've got 3 goals in all of the, at least 3 goals we've scored. So, yeah, their thing is defense and goaltending. They have goal scoring, but they're not blowing, they're not the Edmonton Oilers, right? Their thing is heavy on the defense, and you see the numbers on the goaltender. But if we can get 3 goals a game, I mean, that's not their style. That's not how they want to go, okay? Boston is not coming in here wanting to beat us 4-3, 5-4, okay? If we can just continue to play offensively the way we did during the regular season against them, we have a chance. We have a chance. And I feel it's a good chance. My gut tells me that at the end of this series, because of how last season went, where we were completely just soured on Bruno, We felt like he didn't make the adjustments, etc., etc. I feel like at the end of this series, we are going to be praising Maurice. And I know that some of you are want to hit me right now, and you're taking off your hat and you're throwing it and you've unsubscribed. I grasp that, okay? But so far, as this season has gone on, I mean, even Ekblad's playing better. So as this season has gone on, most of the complaints that we have had about this isn't good and this isn't working, it's working now. It's been gradually improving. So if we can take yet another step and improve, I do not feel like this series is going to be anything similar to what the standings are. Okay, you look at the standings and what they have. 40 more points than us. 40. I mean, it's absurd, right? So you look at that and you say, there's just no way this team has a chance. But they got to play the games, all right? And you've seen a change in Barkov. We've got this guy Kachuk. I have a feeling that Duclair is going to find his game. Maybe not. Let's say right now he's 70% of what he was. I think you might get 85% during this series. He had a terrible injury. He's not going to be 100% until at some point next season. That's not coming. It's just not physically possible, okay? And he may never get back to 100%. He may only become 95% of what he was. But that's not our issue right now. Our issue right now is, can you give us another 10 or 15%? Okay? Can you get yourself into position to take shots? And can you beat the goalies? And can Kachuk get in front, or whoever's on that line with him, Stahl, all right? Can those guys get in front of the net? Can Duke take the shot, rebound, put it in the back of the net? I feel confident about this series. I feel more confident about this series than I would have with the Canes. And I don't have any hockey, statistical, magical reasons for you guys to know that's not my thing. It's just an eye test and a gut test. I feel good about tonight. I feel good about the series. Let's just hope I was right. All right? Let's please, all right? Let's just hope that somewhere in late June I can put out the video where I say, over the summer I made a video and this is what I said, and then I play my Stanley Cup prediction where I have us winning, and then I can cut back to me with a big smile. Because if that happens, everybody's happy. Let's cross our fingers. And look, I'll be the first one to say I'm not going to say it now. I don't want to stop the good, like Cuban says, positive energy. But I will be the first one to admit if what I predicted doesn't happen. But so far, Panthers in 7, triple overtime. Carter Verhaeghe from Duke, by the way. Carter Verhaeghe with a Duke assist in triple overtime. Panthers win it. That's the preview. I'll see you all tonight. Stream starts 7 o'clock. Don't forget, we're also covering the Toronto-Tampa Bay series with all of the same coverage that we're covering Panthers and Bruins. And then once we get into the second round, we'll pick a couple series there. My goal is to not have any nights off until there's no hockey to cover. So we'll go from there. All right. Let's do this. I feel good. You should feel good too. Let's do this.